Hey everyone, Chef Sherri here, and today I'm going to show you how to make prosciutto wrapped asparagus with my herbed cranberry fig sauce. Here we go. Well, as I mentioned, I'm still figuring out how to do all these video stuff, so I'm just going to kind of squish myself down here into the frame while I talk to you to go over the beginning parts and then see if I can't find a better setup for the rest of it. But the first thing is, when you go to do a recipe, there are a couple things you want to make sure of. One is that you have your knife sharpened, and we'll go over that another time. But another one, and one that many people fail to do, is what's called mise en place, which is literally mess in place. It means that you have everything that you need out and ready to go. So as you'll see here, I have my cutting board for cutting up the prosciutto, because I've got all my ingredients. There are lots of different kinds of prosciutto out there. I like Applegate's, and I just happen to use just the regular package that they have, but there are different flavors, different brands. Find what works best for you. I have my olive oil ready to go. I have my pan that we're gonna be roasting in, obviously my knife that we'll do a little bit of cutting with, and then asparagus. So one quick tip I can give you with the asparagus is that when you pick it up from the grocery store, when you get home, cut off the ends initially, half inch or so, and then stick it in a glass of water, because that will help it stay nice and fresh in your refrigerator until it's time for you to use it. So these have been in my fridge now for about 48 hours. I made some yesterday for myself and decided to share the recipe with you. And so that's what we're going to be doing here in just a bit. Oh, also, I have my herbed cranberry fig sauce, and I'll admit that I already dipped my finger into it. So who's ready to go? All right, here we go. Hopefully the camera is not going to fall mid-shoot. If it does, we will pivot. But at this point, it's more important you see the ingredients rather than seeing myself. We're gonna start with prosciutto. So prosciutto is extremely thin, whether you buy it prepackaged or you buy it sliced right from the deli. It is so thin that they put, or at least should put, individual papers in between them. What I'm gonna do is, because I know how much I need for each piece of asparagus, I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken care of right now. I'm gonna be making 8 pieces of asparagus. So I need 4 of these guys because they get cut in half. And honestly, I already used the rest of the package yesterday when I made this for my appetizer of the day. So I only have 4 precious sheets of prosciutto left. So here we go with our knife. A common misconception with people using a knife is that they grip down here on the handle, right? That they think this is how they're supposed to cut. In truth, you want to pinch right here by the bolster. Can you see that? And I'm a lefty, if you haven't figured that out yet. So what I do may be reverse for you, but whether it's on your right hand or your left hand, this is how it's gonna be. So from here, you're gonna take it and you're just gonna split these guys in half. And again, you know, I'm on my cutting board for safety reasons, but you want to hold your prosciutto as well, because it is so thin that if you don't, it's just gonna drag along with your knife. Make sure that you have a really sharp tip that you're using. This is just a utility knife is what they call it. You can use a paring knife, chef's knife, whatever feels best for you. But again, you wanna make sure it's super sharp, because otherwise it's just not gonna work with this prosciutto. It's as delicate as the skin on a tomato, so it needs a good edge for it to grip it. Yep, see, it's starting to tear. Let's see if we can fix this out. That noise in the background is the dog drinking. All right, last one, here we go. All right, so they should be pretty well sliced through. Next up, we're going to take our prosciutto and get it ready to go. So I'm gonna move these around a little bit. Like I said, I'm gonna do 8 stalks. So I'm gonna pull 8 out of here. The rest off to the side. And before I wrap it in prosciutto, I'm going to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. And you'll notice I'm only going to use one hand to actually massage the olive oil in, and that is so that I can pick up the prosciutto easier. So this is also the time when a lot of people would put on salt for their food, except that prosciutto inherently is a very salty meat. So I would strongly encourage that you wait until the very end to decide if you even need to add salt or not. All right, so here we go. We've got half of a slice of prosciutto. Again, very thin, very delicate. There's a good chance it may even tear on me when I go to wrap this up. What you do is you start here right by the tip and just give it a little bend. And then I have found the easiest way to do this is if I turn the asparagus so it's vertical, and it just kind of starts to find that, oh, there's that tear. It finds its own natural little bit of wrap. And then you want to make sure that you keep the prosciutto from folding in on itself, because if it does that, then it will double the thickness, which means it won't cook as evenly. So here we go. And that little bit tore off, and I'm just gonna tack it back on right there. And then we're just gonna lay it down on the pan for now. Now, when you roast items, you want to make sure that you have enough space between them on the pan. Otherwise, they're just gonna steam. And you wanna make sure that there is enough space so that any moisture from whatever it is that you're cooking can release and evaporate without the foods sitting in them. And you'll see as we go to put this in the oven that you're gonna be turning them periodically as well. So, all right, I'm just gonna get the rest of these going. I forgot to mention though, right now your oven should be at preheating to 425. So here we go with the rest of them. Okay, here we go. We have, the asparagus is completely wrapped, as you can see, all set and ready to go. No additional salt, nothing like that. I'm about to pop it in the oven, and we'll go through how to cook it after that. All right, guys, I just pulled the, not you guys, not puppy guys, people watching guys. As you can see, I just pulled the asparagus out. If you listen, nice and sizzling. But if I let it stay like this, it's gonna cook unevenly. So grab your handy tongs, just take them, you flip them over 180 degrees. Boy, that one really shows the difference. If you notice some are cooking faster than others, or you might have a hot spot in your oven, you can shift them around. Like I'm gonna give this guy a little more outside edge since he seems to need a little more cooking, and get these guys to where there might be a little more heat. All right, back in it goes for 15 minutes. All right, here they are after 30 minutes. You can see they are pretty much done. You can roll them around. Oh, look at that, how yummy is that? Sweet. Okay, now here comes the finishing touch. You're gonna take your Herbed Cranberry Fig sauce, a basting brush. All you're gonna do is just run the sauce along each stalk. After we have all the stalks coated, put this guy back in the oven for 5, probably not even 10 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, because what we want to happen is we want to let this Herbed Cranberry Fig sauce caramelize just a little bit. And in this case, by caramelize, I mean like I want the liquids that are within the sauce itself to kind of evaporate out and really condense down the flavors onto the stock. Oh, it's so good. You can always put extra sauce on the side for dipping as well if you would like. Okay. Last time it goes into the oven. Wow, it is all done and it is so, so good. I actually already had a little bite, but take a look. Beautifully roasted, so tender. I'll show you. Look how easily this cuts, just like butter. So good. I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. Drop me a comment, let me know. Have a great day.